This one's taken.
What?
Bullshit, magician. Don't throw your weight around, or we'll take you to people who'll burn you at the stake.
I heard they're gathering wood already.
Take it back and maybe I let you live.
Look at him! That's what I'm talking about. Harassing good people, Satan's spawn.
Driver, stay here. This won't take long.
Hello.
You said a month, 2 at most. I believed you. Then came the very first rain, and it was pouring in again. You fixed it, then the next rain. Soaked. I can't sleep because I have to keep emptying buckets. It's leaking just as badly as it was before. But the eyes of God are in every place, and they're watching.
Rabbi, when I said 2 months, you said there was one hole in the ceiling, but the whole building is in shambles here.
I can do it.
Quiet! You can seal up your daddy's barn with straw. The roof is gonna get holes because the foundations are crumbling.
So, let's go down to the basement.
Oh no, definitely not there.
What's in the basement that's so frightening?
Hashem, something down there reeks so awful that...
Come now, don't be silly. Why do you afflict me so? I know why, because you know I shall bear it. Well, sir, are you just here to listen, or have you got something to say?
Am I speaking to Rabbi Sofer?
You see, all I gotta do is mention these cellars and his name comes up.
Would Hashem let a synagogue be haunted?
Hey now, quiet.
You're too late, I'm afraid. My name is Feldman. Rabbi Sofer departed this world almost a year ago. Forgive me, I have worldly matters to attend to.
I understand, Rabbi. And if someone were to help you with these workers?
In the words of the market woman trying to tempt a Jewish man into idolatry, what harm would it do?
I understand. Back up. God helps those who help themselves.
But maybe you're right, Rabbi. Maybe Hashem is afflicting us, setting a test for us.
You heard the guy talking about Sofer. The old man cursed this place, especially these cellars.
So I'll go on my own, and show that Hashem protects me against curses in Hashem's domain.
On your own. You can seal up your daddy's barn, right? Fine, let's go.
You've gotten the better of me again, Hashem. Your tests still surprise me, but if this is your will, I think Hashem has sent you to me. Who are you?
I'm the son of Stanisław Szulski, and I really need help.
Let's go into my office. Let's show Hashem we accept the challenge.
What do we have here?
Please, tell me what problem brought you here.
Rabbi Sofer put a curse on my father. Unfortunately, it started affecting his children as well.
A curse is a serious accusation, you know. I find it hard to believe Sofer would do such a thing.
Maybe, Rabbi, you could tell me something about golems.
Son of Stanisław, Golems are a matter of Kabbalah, and you are not allowed to study them. It's a trap for a soul. There are tales of golems being summoned for revenge, or in good faith, for protection. But they all end rather badly. And you claim that Sofer supposedly sent a golem?
I don't know. Did the old rabbi perhaps leave some things here? May I take a look at them?
Yes, here you are. All his books are here. I don't think I threw anything out. Is there anything else I can help you with?
Rabbi, could you tell me something about Sofer?
He was fair, but also difficult and very principled, like this city. Riots, provocations, pogroms, overpopulation. But if he's the one who inflicted the curse, he must have been a powerful Thaumaturge and Kabbalist.
Who can summon a golem?
Normally, it's determined by need. The Kabbalist rabbi summons the golem himself, but other Jewish people can also entreat him to do so. In legends, the golem is a terrible punishment and a tool for meting out divine justice. But I think it's an offense against Hashem, and revenge is no justice.
How can I stop a golem?
To summon it to life, you write the 3 Hebrew letters spelling emes, truth, on the clay that formed it. In an attempt to stop the monster, the heroes of these legends would erase the first letter from its clay body. That leaves mes, which means death. But I don't know how much truth is in that.
Rabbi, could you help me understand something about Kabbalah?
No, and I'll say no more on the subject. I fear for your soul.
I'm afraid that I won't find anything more here. Thank you, Rabbi. Rabbi?
I'm listening.
Mordechai Chayat. Do you know that name, Rabbi?
He owns one of the laundries here in Miruf, but I admit he doesn't really come to see me. Maybe there are other things I could be of more help with.
I found a prescription belonging to the old rabbi. Was something troubling him?
He had heart problems. The local pharmacist would even bring him some kind of special medicine.
What was that pharmacist called?
Abraham Horowitz. But now his pharmacy is sitting empty.
Let me guess. He's dead?
Unfortunately. Some say that the socialists were involved. Others claim it was the Ochrana's doing. Let's keep talking, if you need to.
I'll be off now.
I'll pray for you.
That's him. The one with the book. You oozing carbuncle. You ain't had enough of Warsaw yet? So you're sticking your nose in on people here?
You know what happens to fellas who sniff around where they ain't supposed to?
Niruf don't kid around with them.
And who am I supposedly bothering?
And you've wasted the chance to keep your mouth shut. We'll cure this posh boy of his nosiness, you can bet.
You're talking nonsense!
By Abraham's... Did you hear about Praga? I'm at the harbor getting fish, and half the wharf is in splinters. They said there's even bodies.
More bodies than they usually fish out of the Vistula, practically every day. They were only just writing about Povishle.
But listen to this. They're saying it's some giant did it all.
You sure?
Maybe I can help. Recently, I've taken an interest in one of those.
Leave us alone. Did you wander in here by mistake?
I hope those guys outside are your relatives. Otherwise, you're paying too much for your protection. Are you scared of something?
I'm not easily frightened. I have the time spent working with your father to thank for that. You got some dirty laundry that needs cleaning, Mr. Shulsky.
I was interested in this giant you mentioned to the fishmonger.
I can't help you. Rabbis are the ones who deal with golems.
I didn't say anything about a golem.
I'm afraid I can't help you. And now, if you'd like...
You were curious how my father died. Beneath the ruins of a building in Śródmieście.
That's awful. How did it happen?
I'm glad you're asking. A remarkable death, isn't it?
Yes.
Let's have a word about your conflict with my father.
There was no such thing. I have warm feelings for the store, and his father as well.
Why did you quit working for my father?
It was a mutual decision.
I know that you and my father parted ways in bad terms. What happened?
We both had difficult personalities, but I still remember him fondly.
You're not telling me everything.
I don't have to explain myself to you, Mr. Shulsky.
I'm leaving now, but I can tell this won't be the last time we meet.
Farewell. Is there something else you need?
Let's talk about your relationship with my father. A tense relationship.
Mr. Shulsky, I'll say it one more time. Stanisław and I didn't quarrel.
Liar. Your anger still lingers around the photograph of my father. You're going to find it hard to hide anything from me.
I'm not in the habit of speaking ill of the dead, Mr. Shulsky. Especially to their family. Old grudges drove us apart. Not all stains are easy to remove. Especially ones on a person's honor.
And might they give you a reason to seek revenge? A motive?
I can't summon golems, if that's what you're getting at.
But you know there is such a possibility.
Is that all? I need to get back to work.
You didn't need the power to send the golem after my father. Old Sofer did it at your request.
And do you know what for?
All this is because Abraham Horowitz, isn't it? He lost his life, and the whole community felt it. Seems like you did most of all. I just don't get why Horowitz was so important to you.
Community. Something you Shulskis don't know a thing about. Here, we take care of everyone equally. No one is more or less important than anyone else. Your father's punishment was fitting for his actions and his background. The wrath of the Jewish people. A death for a death.
Was it worth it? A golem is a blunt instrument that kills and harms everyone in reach.
What are you talking about?
You wanted to teach my father a lesson, and you did. It's too bad innocent people died in the process. The building that collapsed on Stanisław, it was inhabited by people. Now all that's left of them are some damaged items. That's what happens every time the golem physically manifests. Random people lose their lives due to its untamed power.
No, it can't be. It wasn't supposed to be that way.
I don't think the punishment is adequate for the crime. Horowitz had something on his conscience. He must have, if both the Ohrana and the Socialists were interested in him. And what my father did, I can't believe I'm saying this, but his motives seem noble.
Oh, do they?
There's no trace of cruelty in his actions. He didn't do it for his own profit, but for some kind of greater good.
Without any specifics, those are just words.
My father and Sofer knew one another for years. Father knew the rabbi could be forced to create a golem if Horowitz was killed. They both took that risk. Sofer couldn't reveal that he knew Stanisław. He also knew that Horowitz had to disappear because he was a threat to too many people.
To whom?
That doesn't matter. You don't have anything to do with this, Mordechai. Just like I have nothing to do with my father's actions. I am connected to them only by my blood.
What do you want?
To get rid of the golem. Tell me something, anything, that will get me closer to a solution.
Instead of telling you, I'll show you.
Where? Into an alley, where some friend of yours will smack me around?
To the synagogue. Are you coming?
Yes, let's go.
We'll stop to get Feldman. He should see this too.
So,
No wonder the roof is leaking if the foundation is crumbling. A lovely metaphor, Hashem. But what happened here had nothing to do with Hashem. Did it?
Mr. Shulsky wished to know the origin of his curse. This is where it took its shape. If I'd... Now I see it differently, but back then, when I was talking to Sofer, revenge and justice seemed one and the same.
Revenge is no justice. It is always dictated by anger, and in anger, erring comes easily. But Sofer agreed to it.
He summoned the golem. What else do you want to know?
what do you remember from the moment you summoned the golem?
Nothing. I don't want to go back to that.
Your memory takes shape and forms into words. Talk to me, Mordechai.
I feel cold. cold from the clay seeps into my fingers, into my bones. But the colossus I've been sculpting for hours is nearly ready. Sofer whispers the spell in Hebrew, but his words throb in my temples and soul. The colossus comes to life and looks at me.
What did Sofer say then?
I don't know.
Speak!
I couldn't hear, I swear. I couldn't hear. Truly. Enough, I beg you. Enough. Your family and your blood deserved this curse. Enough.
Yet. How could Sofer have done something like this? And you, sir, how are you not ashamed?
Maybe I've treated Hayat unfairly.
You made him relive all that. That's torture.
I wanted to know. Anything might help us get rid of the golem.
Even so.
This place won't tell me anymore.
And what have you learned?
The hole you can't miss over there is the new door the golem smashed when it was summoned to life.
And no one saw anything. How is that possible?
The clay formed a shell that Sofer infused with the Salutor. Hayat brought it and spent hours shaping the body of the golem.
Hours? That must have been horribly exhausting.
What's a few hours in exchange for a curse that lasts generations? These are the remains of some fabric that Sofer wrote something on, in Hebrew, I think. This might be some prayer, incantation, even a spell. There's not enough left to read anything. That's all, but I'm not any closer to a solution. I need someone like Sofer.
A thaumaturge and a kabbalist?
Do you know one, Rabbi?
Well, there is someone. Normally, I'd advise against contacting him, but after considering these extraordinary circumstances, and with trust in your choice of a path to lead me down, I'm compelled to reveal that it's Ariel Rofe.
Of course.
Do you know one another?
Well, I know him well enough to suspect that he might not want to help me. But I'll look for him.
Mercy rebuilds bridges.
I think I know where Rafa would tell me to shove that.
All right, I think it's time for us to go. This place just makes the blood boil. Shall we?
Let's get out of here.